Here with Washington State women's basketball head coach Cami Ethridge. Coach, you've reached the final home weekend of the regular season here. Kind of hard to believe we're already here. Final home weekend against Arizona State on Friday, Arizona on Sunday. Just how are you all preparing for this, and just how I bet you can't believe that the season's already at the final home weekend of the year, huh?
Right. It's hard to imagine that we're getting toward the end of February. It feels, like thinking back early games, it feels like that was years ago. But, we're also in a pretty, normal routine and trying to, prepare, still continue to get better for our team and probably have shortened practices. We need to save our kids as much as possible. Obviously less weights and less time in the weight room, but just wanting our players to stay fresh and to be ready to go on, Friday and Sunday. So it's an exciting time. We're in a really good spot. We love being at home. Got the pink game Friday, got a senior night on Sunday. So really lots to look forward to this weekend.
Coach, how are you?
Hi.
So obviously, with the seniors coming up, you have Sheer, Michaela, and Crystal all getting honored. Can you just kind of talk briefly about what each of those have meant to the program, obviously in different roles and in different ways, but obviously three very important players to your program?
Right. Gosh, I can just remember when we took over this program, we had 7 players. Really had to find players to fill a roster to have enough to compete the next year. Have never recruited a player from Israel. Sheer came across our radar, already had been in the Army, so really mature, spoke great English, at least we thought, probably didn't speak it as well or as we thought, because she was so good in texting and in communicating. But I just look at her and go, she's been with us the entire time. She's been here. Same with Michaela as well. But she took a chance on us. She's had a roller coaster of a career. Got to play more minutes earlier in her career than later, but has always been just someone that we could depend on in every capacity. I mean, she's mature, she's responsible, she's invested, she shows up every day. She's worked so unbelievably hard to improve her shot and to be what we need her to be on the court. She is just a perfect human being off the court, and the representation she is in the classroom, has a great reputation on campus. So it's everything we want our program to be. This senior class is everything we want them to be. Michaela Jones, she's also had a roller coaster ride. She had injuries. She's had, setbacks with everything. This year she was getting on a little bit of a roll and then broke her hand. But she is another player that we had recruited at Northern Colorado, and she believed in us and wanted to be where we were. I think Mick is just one of those guys that just looks at you and oozes loyalty and sincerity and passion and work ethic. When I think of those 2 players, Sheer and Mick, again, our culture, our 5 core values, those 2 are just exactly everything we want in our program. And they represent it. They bleed it. They are Cougs for life. And really, like I said, I just can't think of any better human beings in the world that and givers to this program, givers to other people. So really proud to have been able to coach those 2. Crystal is just a whole nother level of, roller coaster. Obviously have history with her at Northern Colorado and got to coach her when, she was, probably kind of sort of a mid-major player, just because she hadn't committed completely to getting herself in shape and coming from New Zealand, she didn't get fully recruited. That country's not recruited as much. But gosh, what an impact she made at that program, in that program, and for us when we were at Northern Colorado, and helped us win a tournament championship and a championship at your regular season championship, and get to the NCAA for the first time in that history. She just has transformed herself into, I think one of the best competitors I've ever coached. She took a chance and came with us a year later once we got out here, and I'm really grateful for that. She sat out. COVID's let her be here an extra year. And again, I just feel like I've been coaching her for a long time. I know she's probably thinking the same thing, but she's just become the most conditioned athlete. Her will and her competitiveness and her motor and her IQ set her apart. She has a loud voice, so responsibility just falls on her, because if she's not loud, she gets in trouble, because we know what she's capable of. But she is just a great leader, and people trust her and believe in her. And again, I think she's the glue behind what we're doing here, and has become that for our team. So I'm just these three players are what you want your seniors to be. They lead us. They hold the standard when the coaches aren't around, and even when the coaches are around, they're never going to drop below that standard. And that's all you can ask for. And it's why we trust our program so much right now, is because of the leadership of these three players.
Have you had any talks about with Crystal about going into coaching after she's done playing?
Well, I think, you never know when that might happen, but no, we haven't really. She would probably, make sure we are aware that that's not what she's wanting to do right now. But just you wait. She may end up back in coaching and back in making an impact somewhere. I know she's invested in very, just being a great voice for women in whatever profession, and wanting to represent that population, whether it's in athletics or whatever field it might be in. She's going to make a big impact in the world. And I would say the same. Sheer and her psychology degree and what she's doing, and Mick, who already has a job. How about that? Mick already has a job. So these guys are just again, they're going to be unbelievably great at whatever they choose to do.
Focusing on the games this weekend, there's obviously, throughout the senior festivities, a couple of really, really important games. Arizona State's one of just three teams that you have not beaten in your tenure here. I think it's outside of Stanford, it's the longest stretch of a drought against the team. They obviously have an incredible talent in Jade LaVille, someone who grew up and played high school in the state of Washington. What's it going to take for you guys when you look at that team to beat them and kind of break that streak? And not just, for, the ability to break the streak, but that's a team that you're really competing with on that bubble, to get into that field of 68 for the NCAA tournament.
Right. I mean, again, all of that, the bubble, the field, none of that matters if we just don't concentrate on what we're supposed to do Friday night. And that's Arizona State. They are so tough. I mean, Charlie, just her teams are always so mentally and physically and emotionally tough and strong and resilient, and they just don't get discouraged. If they get down, they're going to come back at you. She does just an amazing job with those guys. I think they're one of the best defensive teams that you'll face anywhere. They make you make hard shots. They make you make extra passes. It's a unique kind of defense that we haven't seen, so it's hard to prepare your team for. Again, it just becomes you gotta match that. You gotta match their intensity. You gotta match their toughness. And you got to find a way to get some points on the board against them. So again, great opportunity for us. Can't be a bigger game. We know the challenge that's ahead of us, and I think our team is excited to play and ready to get after it. And let's see what happens.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this week.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Coach, we appreciate your time this week. Best of luck this weekend against Arizona State and Arizona. We'll talk to you after both games. Go Cougs.
All right, let's get everybody out. We need pink game on Friday, and then seniors come let everybody know, and this senior group know how much we love them and appreciate them and respect them, and are going to be there for us to pull out some wins. Thanks. Go
I
Cougs.
appreciate your time, Coach. Bye.